You have already looked up at the sky and seen the moon completely red, as if it were covered in silent fire. It is not a special effect. It is not an illusion. It is one of the most impressive phenomena nature has ever created. For a few minutes the world seems different. The light changes, the sky darkens, and that sphere that has always been white or silver takes on a deep and intense shade of red. Many call it the blood moon. The name awakens curiosity, fear, and fascination. But behind this spectacle there is pure, precise, and fascinating science. The blood moon happens during a total lunar eclipse. It occurs when Earth positions itself exactly between the Sun and the Moon, blocking direct sunlight. When this alignment happens, Earth's shadow completely covers the lunar surface. At first, it seems as if the Moon will simply disappear from the sky, but something surprising happens. Instead of becoming totally dark, it slowly begins to gain a mysterious and intense reddish color. This happens because sunlight is not entirely blocked. Part of it passes through Earth's atmosphere before reaching the Moon. As it travels through the atmosphere, blue light is scattered in many directions. This is the same effect that makes the sky appear blue during the day. Red light, however, has a longer wavelength and passes through the atmosphere more easily, bending toward the Moon. The result is an indirect reddish illumination that bathes the entire lunar surface, creating the spectacle known as the blood moon. The intensity of the color can vary. Some eclipses leave the moon slightly orange, while others produce a deep and dramatic red. This variation depends on the condition of Earth's atmosphere. Volcanic dust, pollution, and suspended particles directly influence the observed tone. The more particles present in the atmosphere, the more intense the red coloration tends to be during totality. It is important to understand that the moon does not emit its own light. It simply reflects sunlight. During totality, that reflection is replaced by sunlight filtered through Earth's atmosphere, creating the red appearance. This phenomenon is not rare. On average, 2 to 5 lunar eclipses occur each year. However, total eclipses visible from the same location are less frequent, since they depend on specific orbital alignment. The Moon's orbit around Earth is slightly tilted relative to Earth's orbit around the Sun. Because of this tilt, most full moons do not produce eclipses, since perfect alignment does not always occur. Only when a full moon happens near points called orbital nodes can a total eclipse take place. These nodes are the points where the Moon's orbit crosses the plane of Earth's orbit. When alignment is precise, Earth's shadow is fully projected onto the Moon, beginning the total eclipse. The process unfolds in phases. First, the Moon enters the penumbra, where the shadow is subtle and partial. Then the partial phase begins, when a visible portion of the Moon is covered by the darker central shadow. Finally, totality occurs, when the entire lunar surface is immersed in Earth's shadow. It is exactly during this phase that the Moon takes on the reddish tone that fascinates observers around the world. Totality can last several minutes, depending on the exact geometry of the orbital alignment. In 2026, a total lunar eclipse will once again provide this spectacle to various regions of the planet. This event will follow the same physical laws that governed all previous eclipses in human history. Ancient records show that civilizations interpreted the red moon as a divine sign or omen. Without scientific knowledge, the phenomenon was linked to myths, wars, and dramatic changes. Today we know there is no supernatural influence involved in the process. It is simply the interaction of sunlight, Earth's atmosphere, and orbital mechanics. The blood moon is also completely safe to observe with the naked eye. Unlike solar eclipses, there is no risk to human vision when watching a lunar eclipse. Telescopes and binoculars can enrich the experience, revealing details of the lunar surface under the reddish light. Craters, lunar maria, and surface features become visible under a different and almost dramatic illumination. The visual sensation is unique, as the moon seems to float like a glowing sphere in the dark sky. The coloration can evolve during the event, beginning with orange tones and deepening into dark red. Some eclipses produce copper shades, while others appear tinted with a deep wine color. Scientists use a system called the D'Anjon scale to classify the intensity of eclipse brightness and color. This scale ranges from very dark and almost invisible to bright and intense red. Global atmospheric conditions directly influence this classification in each event. Major volcanic eruptions, for example, can significantly darken the moon during an eclipse. This happens because particles released into the stratosphere alter how sunlight is filtered. Therefore, each blood moon is unique. No two are ever exactly the same. The phenomenon also helps scientists study Earth's atmosphere indirectly. By analyzing the light that reaches the moon, researchers can infer information about atmospheric composition. This transforms a visual spectacle into a valuable scientific tool. In addition, lunar eclipses can be predicted with remarkable precision. Astronomers can calculate dates and times, decades, or even centuries in advance. This level of accuracy shows how deeply we understand celestial motions today. Even so, watching it live remains an emotional and almost spiritual experience. It is visible proof that we live in a dynamic and perfectly synchronized cosmic system. Earth casts its shadow into space, and the moon responds with a silent red glow. Everything happens without sound, without warning, only with the slow dance of orbital motion. Millions of people around the world observe the same event simultaneously. This sense of global connection makes the experience even more powerful. The blood moon does not change tides differently than usual. It does not influence human behavior or cause catastrophic events. It is simply physics, gravity, and light working together in perfect harmony. Yet the emotional impact can be profound for those who watch it. Seeing the moon change color before your eyes creates a sense of cosmic magnitude. It feels like witnessing a silent reminder of the scale of the universe. Each eclipse renews our curiosity about the sky and its mysteries. The blood moon is more than an astronomical event. It is an invitation to look up and understand our place in the cosmos. Beyond its beauty, the blood moon reminds us that we are part of a vast gravitational system, governed by predictable laws and delicate balances that have existed for billions of years. Every total lunar eclipse reinforces humanity's long journey, from fear and superstition to knowledge and scientific understanding of celestial mechanics. When you observe a blood moon, you are witnessing sunlight that has traveled millions of kilometers, filtered through Earth's atmosphere, and gently illuminated another world. It is a powerful demonstration of how interconnected cosmic bodies truly are, even across immense distances of space. Moments like this inspire future astronomers, scientists, and dreamers to continue exploring the universe and asking deeper questions about existence. The red glow slowly fades as the moon exits Earth's shadow and returns to its familiar brightness. And yet, something remains different inside the observer who took the time to watch. Because understanding transforms wonder into something even greater than mystery. It transforms it into knowledge. If you enjoy exploring the great spectacles of the universe with clear and fascinating explanations, subscribe to the channel. Here we dive into science, space mysteries, and natural phenomena that change the way we see the world. Turn on notifications so you do not miss upcoming celestial events and continue discovering the universe with us.